said it best. You know, shout out to Cat Williams, shout out to Cassie, because they the ones who opened the floodgates. Now everybody coming out. You got boxing stars. Boxing stars. Ryan Garcia just came out and he exposed some of the sickest stuff that I've heard that was going on in Hollywood. You know what I mean? And this is worse than the Diddy Glover allegations. Now, Diddy Glover wasn't accused of no kids besides the 16-year-old girl. We still waiting on that. You know what I mean? But far as this, what you about to hear, what Ryan's about to say, this is like the worst that I've heard. This is worse than the Diddy allegations. This is worse than... This is like over Weinstein. This is over R. Kelly. All of these people that was accused of all of this stuff. This is the worst that I just heard. I couldn't believe my ears. We can't even meditate with this right now. This is a live recording of boxing star Ryan Garcia. Okay? And I got a whiff of Ryan Garcia when he fought Gervonta Davis, I think like a couple years ago. You know what I mean? So this is when I got a whiff of this guy. The stuff that he's about to tell y'all is going to blow your mind. I cannot make this up. This man just went on a complete rant. They trying to say that he's crazy. They trying to say he's on drugs. They trying to say all of this stuff about this boy because he's saying everything that we already thought of. I won't be surprised if they try to take this live down because of what y'all about to hear right now. I couldn't even put in the caption what he said that they are doing to our children, okay? In Hollywood. I need y'all to smash that like button though, because we got to get this video out there. This information got to go, and I want y'all to make sure y'all listen very carefully of what Ryan Garcia, boxing star, is about to say that he's went through in Hollywood and that he's going through right now, and what they're doing to our kids. If you got any children around, please cover their ears. I can't make no jokes up about this. We can't meditate because this is very, very sad, guys. So listen to this right here. This is a live recording of Ryan Garcia exposing the Hollywood elite and talking about what they've been doing to the children and making him watch. Tying him up and making him watch things that are happening. Listen to this.
Give a fuck, bro. They rape me, right? Anymore.
Where?
Bro, they fucking took me to the fucking woods, bro, and they fucking tied. I'm not fucking joking, bro. I have fucking proof, bro. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I fucking will show you every fucking video you could ever fucking believe. Bohemian Grove is real. They fucking tied me down, and they made me fucking watch, dog. I actually don't give a fuck anymore. Yes, I fucking lost it. They're raping little kids.
Because I want to take this off, so I'm
You hear what he said they doing to little kids? He said that they are wording little kids. They tie him up and held him down in the woods and make him watch them doing this to little kids. This is how.
Of a previous video, I thought I would go ahead and tell you the whole story of the time I met an MK Ultra trainer. So I was a preacher at a pretty large church. A woman came to our church, wanted to get involved in the church, but a weird thing happened. The bishop in charge kind of snubbed her and wouldn't let her get involved in the church, which is kind of uncharacteristic for him. So I asked him about it. He was pretty cryptic about why, and he actually did tell me that it was because he felt like she had mental issues and he couldn't go into it. So I didn't think anything more of it. A couple weeks later, I was at a big seminar with a bunch of clergy. It was open to anyone who paid the fee to get into it, but it was primarily a clergy convention, a series of seminars, multiple day thing. So like on day one, I encountered this woman in the lobby. She came up to me and wanted to tell me why she was not part of our church and what had happened with her and the pastor. So I was curious and I gave her a listen. And the story that she told me was mind-boggling. It was beyond belief, and I could see totally why the pastor would think she was crazy. So I went ahead and gave her the time kind of out of morbid curiosity. And, you know, at the end of this 4 hours I spent with this woman, I decided if she was crazy, she was the most special kind of crazy I'd ever seen. That her craziness was so detailed and in-depth that honestly it made me believe her story, even though it was totally unbelievable. And since then, I have stayed away from the topic of MK Ultra because, and even the Illuminati and a lot of this stuff I don't delve too deeply into because it does sound so crazy. But let me just tell you, as best I can remember, the story this woman told me. So she claims to have been born in the Illuminati from a Illuminati Bavarian family who can trace their origins all the way back to the beginning of the Bavaria version of the Illuminati, which is the ones that are supposed to be, you know, at the Grove and, you know, supposed to be the Bilderbergers and all of this. So she claims that she had a relatively normal childhood, although she was raised mostly by other people because they were very wealthy, and that she had gone to, where they off to parochial school or whatever, not parochial school, but private school, and that she didn't live at home and didn't know her parents much until she was 13. When she was 13, she was taken, she says, to Rome, where they walked through a series of catacombs under the city and hallways and passageways underground until they ended up in an Illuminati room, like a cathedral or a satanic church. And she claims that the Illuminati are Satanists, that this is all about Satanism. And what she described was a big, giant, round area with 13 thrones encircling this area. And the 13th throne was empty. Encircling this area. And the 13th throne was empty. The 12th throne is where the head Illuminati member sat, and the previous 11 thrones were occupied by the dead bodies of previous heads of the Illuminati. So he was, in her telling, she said that we were at the end of time, and that this was the final, this Illuminati who was in charge now, head Illuminati guy, whatever, the head guy, I can't remember what she called him, the master, she called him the master, that he was the last one before the final one who would become the Antichrist. He was going to sit in the empty 13th throne. So in this circle, she said, was a pentagram and candles, and she was laid on a ceremonial altar at the center of this. And then while everyone watched, this large group, including her family, she was raped by this, well, she gave herself willingly to this 12th master who impregnated her with her first child in that ceremony, where she lost her virginity and was impregnated. She said that she had just started her period a few months earlier, and that's why they took her there, and that when they took her there, she was fertile. So she was inseminated by this guy in this ceremony, and that her son was very special because she was the son of the master, or he was the son of the master, rather. And she was chosen because she was of a pure bloodline that went back to royalty in Bavaria. So, flash forward, she's given an arranged marriage to a slightly older man. I think she was 13 or 14 when they got married. And I don't believe they were married in the States. They were married in another country. I think it may be Germany. At any rate, her and her husband were trained and had a job in the Illuminati, and they were MK Ultra trainers. And their life was very interesting, that they would just be asleep and living this normal life, and they would get a phone call, and this phone call would give them their trigger word, because they'd been brainwashed and their personalities had been split. So during the rest of the time, this lady thought she was just a housewife, just a soccer mom, and her husband was just a guy that worked at the police force. He was a cop. And she said that they would get this call in the middle of the night and be given a code word where they would snap out of this false persona and become the MK Ultra Illuminati trainers that they both were. They would wake their kids up because their kids were also in this torture program, becoming MK Ultra slaves. And they would go to an undisclosed location in a rural environment underneath these giant tents, these giant white, like FEMA tents. And I asked her if this was the United States government, and she said, no, this is above the United States government. This is the people that all the governments report to. And I struggled to understand it a little.